our country of Northumberland. Just as we read a history book, we are going to see and look. So much has gone before, we must open our heritage door. People and places, hills and dale, to see it all we cannot fail. You stand and look in awe at history that has gone before. Vikings and Celtic all leaving their mark, so now sit back and read the poems of our grand place called. A little place so many don't see, give its own views of sand and sea, rocks to explore and stand upon. For a moment you join as one with nature for a short while, and then leave to travel another mile. But just before you leave this quiet place, stand and look out at the watery space, because out at sea, when the tide is very low, the forest of time gone by, but rarely seen now, but still there and there, Warry blanket, a reminder of our past so rare. Amble and the Coquet Island, at the mouth of the Coquet Island, Amble stands on grassy hills and light-colored sand, just an ordinary town you may say. But even here history has had a day. Bronze Age's burial grounds have been found, so our heritage is all around. And off to the coast, standing strong, this Coquet Island has always belonged. Monks years ago used to visit this place for meeting and friendship, and also Gracie came, St. Cuthbert and Abbas Elfida. An interesting note to the reader, later in history, Grace Darling's brother watched over the lighthouse and much further. And so leave this coastal town and wander north to where more history came from. The foundation deeds for this small port was seen to be done in a Edinburgh court. William the Lion did make his mark to tell William de Vesey building can start. And so this quaint and ancient bay at last in history had its say. Once years ago, a pirate came in 185. Paul Jones was his name, bombarded and ransacked, hit did do. But strong-hearted people, though just a few, knew even he could not keep them down. That's true courage found. Then, in 1748, a stranger came to town. John Wesley was his name. He said of most wicked port, maybe then he is right to taunt. But no rage, no fear, no one finds anything left of those wicked times. Just peace and calm we all can feel as the distant bells echo and peal. A hero is remembered by this harbor so small, a place loved by so many to recall. Now a peaceful haven for man and boat. The smell drifts through the air of burning oak, as kippers for our tables are cured and hung. Loved by all old and young, it seems to blend with sand and sea. What an enchanting place to be. Lobster pots stand piled high as we stroll and walk right by. We smell the crabs and lobsters too, that fishermen and small crew caught the night before in calm waters clear, and then brought in to lie on pier. Another catch, another day out beyond the harbor and bay. The Earl of Lancaster in 1312 built the stronghold for himself, and the stronghold became when the War of the Roses was to blame. Lancastrians one and all came here before their fall, knew a ruin standing on a carpet of green. It's an awe-inspiring sight to be seen, and as the evening mist surrounds its portals, it seems to say, you are just mortals. Its walls all crumbled, its turrets bowed, but what is left still stands so proud. I will stand here and look out to sea for many years, yet I still can be. Leave me toy the evening dust to do the mist and wintry gust. Now no harbor do you see, but Henry VIII fleet was at my quay in 1514. Large boats were moored here in waters deep and oh so clear. My memories go deep, the ruins see to say, as onward our feet take us away. Another bay nestled beside trees and dunes, a village small with only peel tower ruins, but it has spirit and memories long gone. Still a place on our coast to belong. In the south wall there is a window to see where King Oswald bared face will be, holding a chalice with a raven sitting. Why is it there? I am not admitting, but interesting to note, as history books have wrote, still a place of peace and calm, where small yachts can come to no harm. A piece of history, yes it is that, where in peace they have sat. A winding road and over a bridge, and there stand sea houses on the ridge. Hustle and bustle, shops by the score, fishing boats in the harbor, and so much more. Something of interest for everyone. Over the years no charm has gone. The harbor with its fishing fleets stands the winds of time as through history repeats. The islands you can see from harbor wall seem to beckon and to call. The Fame Islands, known for bird and seal, a nature reserve for all to see. A lively place to enrich our life, to take us far from our daily strife. The fishing boats in all their glory tell us of a different life, a different story.
When one of cruel seas and foggy nights, men and boat have their fights. We must struggle and we must win, as they think of their kith and kin.
Along the seafront with views of blue sea and sky, a stretch of sand so wide and dry, and then you gasp when then you visit the castle on its rocky ridges. King Zaida's castle, huge and square, it seems to say, come near, who dare? So proud, so strong, 50 awe-inspiring, it stands looking down, history never dying. Every stone and every flower gives the feeling of never-ending power. Who walked these rocky paths so long ago? Was it farmers and peasants with pick and hoe? But then the Danes with longboats and swords came to pillage and to rob in their hordes. But you could not keep this castle down, built again and again, and now of renown. Such a shame, the turret and wall tell us secrets halls. Grace, darling, Grace, darling, a young girl of tender age with sea a battle had to wage. Grace, darling, was her name. Bamberg's heroine, people came to see her tomb and her plaque, and came to learn of her bravery act, saving men from cruel sea and storm. Was this the reason she was born? With her father she rode out to save men in trouble in the storm's rage. She lost her life for these sailing men. The angry sea wanted all of them, but this young and gentle lass stood and said, the sea will not have them for its bed. Saving mariners, clinging to life, rocks cutting their bodies like a knife. But father and Ortex saved many a man, a brave act that many years has spanned. Even today her memory is cherished by all, as we read inscriptions, memories we recall. Ooh. Oswald of Northumbria sent for Saint Aidan from Iona, build me a monastery on the Neddys Farn. And so he came with peace and calm, made of wood from the seashore, and boats from mainland wood did bore. Then the place was built, a fortress it became, until the Vikings' longboats came to kill and pillage and to conquer. All monks and peasants hid behind a fortress wall, defending God's house. They cried and fell, no more would the people hear the abbey bell. After St. Aidan there came a shepherd, and this legend can still be heard while watching sheep among the hills in dead of night. When life was still, a shower of shooting stars, a Pyrrhic above, a sign from God sent with his love, herding his sheep into the fold. Cuthbert's strided cut so strong and bold, to Melrose Abbey he did go to devote his life to God. And so after learning to be a man of God, with his mind strong like a rod, he set forth where St. Aidan was, to be one of 12 disciples, all because of shooting stars. Linked together by bridges gleaming, the river flows so fast, so fleeing. The sun on granite and viaduct stone seems to say to Spittal, you're not alone. Berwick is a fortress town you must not miss, with its ancient walls time alone has kissed, covered now by grass and moss, so nothing of history can be lost. A sturdy and strong town felt in buildings all, never to crumble or to fall. It stands alone at the mouth of the Tweed, and like the river it seems to say, take heed, I am here forevermore, an entrance to Scotland, a granite door. From great Chester's in the west it wends its way to Wallsend, and there to rest, still to be seen in Wallingford. So much to learn, so much to be taught, an engineering feat no one can be taught. Walked by Romans and now we pass by stone and wood, fortified band, 10 foot thick and 15 high to stand. 72 miles was this man's creation, still standing in places a long duration. School children still learn so much from coins and shields and knives and such. Long may it be part of our heritage, as once again we turn another page. Planted by man for our future, to help our expanding culture. Conifers grow mile upon mile, and now and again logs lie in a pile. And in the center another of man's intervention, a reservoir too big to mention all its many attributes. You cannot deny or dispute a lake that blends with hill and dale. Its beauty to see it cannot fail. Fishing and boating and all leisure persecutes, a beginning for it, we planting our roots for future generations to see and admire, a sight which you will never tire. But never forget the village that was doomed, so man could have water to consume. A little village now lost from sight, but still there underwater sparking bright. The field of Flodden, where battle was done, where some men lost and some men won. Now a field of corn so gold, a sight your eyes wished it could hold. But there among the ears of corn, men fell in bloody battle, tired and torn. Passing by those memories of old, you see ahead, standing 0 bold. Ford Castle, so old and charming, a peaceful view, so very calming. Just another castle, worn with age, another chapter, another page looked upon with great interest by boys and men sitting at rest, dreaming of times long ago. Would they have been brave and fought with bow? Or would they flee south away from marauders, away from the Scots coming over the borders? Oh, those days when life was so hard, I'm so glad I am just too barred. On the border where Northumbria and Scotland meet, this granite town sits at the Cheviot's feet, a warm, pleasant place to see, where brave soldiers grouped and came to be. The Coldstream Guards of world renown started here in this small town. It leaves a soft spot in your heart when it is time for you to part. Memories of soldiers, oh so brave. Some of them their lives did give, remembered by all who passed this way. Men in uniform are there to stay, honored and loved by ancestors all, ready and willing to rise when they hear the call. The river twines way by mossy banks, protecting town and not asking any thanks. It seems to say, one am here to enrich your fields, to grow your corn and to supply your cattle's needs, as it meanders eastward to the coast, flowing fast and then so slow, trying to remember the way to go. And now I wend my way inland to see the Cheviots, as they stand in all their glory, and in summer mist there is enchantment here, where history has kissed castles, homesteads, and heather so bright. Whate'er the season, it's a lovely sight. You wind your way around leafy lanes. Is this what they sort? The avenging Danes, and lush and green the pastures pass, as on our way we onward dash. In these hills St. Cuthbert's life began. As a shepherd boy he herded sheep and sang, covering 35 miles of our Northumbria. He tended his black-faced sheep without any fear. Hills dark and gloomy as you stare, then the sun creaks through, and in its glare you see the hills not dull or dark but bright. The scenery has left its mark. Memories of this are locked away, to bring out and treasure another day. Ancestral home of Earl of Tankerville, a historic home it still is. Last known place for cattle all white, a lovely and unusual sight. The last survivors of this cattle strain, I wonder where they came. Never a color on calf or cow. Many years past, even now the remaining herd peacefully grazes. Under trees they look and gaze. The highest point is a castle called Rossini. Not seen such a great loss. South, north, east or west, you can't decide which is best. Parkland stretches out of sight, where cattle can be seen. All white, a castle lived in and loved by all, with charm and grace it will never fall. The parkland and grounds, planned booty capability, brown surrounds this castle like a bright green gown. Dukes of Northumberland have made this their home, their palace, their fortress as they reigned alone. It stands so noble above the Yonne River, which travels so smooth, running like silver. The house of Percy own it and care for this great castle so fair.
gone by. Lived in a castle with towers so high, furniture and trappings which are so rare are watched over with such great care. Settees and beds, tapestries and rugs, silver chalices and china jugs, all this and so much more we see and stand and look ignore. Together past and present